The trio seemed fascinated by his struggles. It was like watching sport to them, as they were obviously thoroughly enjoying themselves. It was now clear to Jack that they weren't friends, they were evil. And that was the last of his worries as the sand reached up to his chin and he had an itch on his legs, but there was no way that he could reach it, and he was in agony. The men laughed and the scorching sun shone down like a laser beam, as if wanting to punish him even further. I'm doomed, he thought as he struggled in vain. Now the sand was up to his mouth, and although he was hungry, he didn't fancy a mouthful of sand. He much preferred a sandwich. He closed his mouth tight and felt the cold runny sand on his lips like rancid porridge. Jack gave one more valiant effort to get free, and the evil trio roared with laughter. He sank under. It was a terrible feeling, and he closed his eyes and wished he was somewhere else. The pressure was so great that he thought he would pop. It was like being in a vice which was turning slowly by an invisible hand. Let's try and turn this page, which is quite hard. Holy Moses, one moment. Holy Moses, why is that so hard? Right then. It's good to be organised. He felt the sludge going up his nose, and then he was submerged into a thick, gooey soup of sand. Jack said a silent prayer, and that was the last thing he remembered, as he was swallowed mercilessly. Then a few moments later all he could see was bright blue, and the sounds of birds shrieking all around him. He passed through a cloud and he looked down at the green fields and the houses below him, looking like a model village. He was flying like an eagle, and he held out onto the bar, guiding himself as he glided across the sky like a dove. The wind blew his hair from his forehead, and he felt so free and alive. It was magical. He soared over bridges and watched as the trains sped by, and he could see the passengers reading their newspapers, and a child waved to him. But he couldn't wave back. He didn't want to let go of the bar, which kept him safe. He was abseiling. I think that's what it's called. He could see an aeroplane in the distance, and he heard its engines booming. He lifted himself higher above the clouds, and he watched the white of the plane pass beneath him. It looked like a toy. He could feel its power, and it was as the clouds were shaking in fear. Jack turned and he decided to get closer to the ground. He wheeled round and dived like a heron. He passed over a church and he could see a happy couple getting married in a fog of confetti and champagne. All of the guests were waving, and it looked like they were having such a good time that he almost dropped in for a glass of champagne. Jack passed over smoky factories and noisy motorways, and then he saw the white cliffs in the distance, and he decided to head for them. A gaggle of seagulls escorted him, and he marvelled at the intricate beauty of their wings up close. They were a work of art. Dark clouds were gathering around him, and the light rain was cooling him down. He dipped towards the rocky grey waves, and a dolphin smiled at him as he hovered over the rapidly rising waves. He didn't know where he was going, and that was the beauty of it. He pulled up as a large wave threatened to submerge him. Hope you like that chapter. Please sub me.